Hey there, good afternoon. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to another edition of the Friday Business Building with SRT Live with me, your host, Sean Richard, and I'm excited to be here with you today. So hopefully we can kick the weekend off with some fantastic information. As I mentioned last Friday, I'm going to be here most Fridays to bring you as much education, guidance, coaching, tips, tools, technology to help you thrive and grow in business. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm excited to chat with you today to go over some really cool information. So if you're watching this live on the Powerhouse Facebook group, go ahead and just put a heck yeah in the comments. I'm going to go pull it up here. All right. And we will get started. So tell me how you're doing. How is everybody doing this afternoon? Did everybody have a good week? We're in January, and hopefully the month has already started off on a phenomenal note for each and every one of you. All right. Here we are. I've got this up, and we're ready to go. Cool. All right, so let's dive in. So today we are talking about ATMs, and although it's not the kind that you're thinking, although these ATMs do tend to result in money in your pocket as well, the ATMs that I'm here to talk to you about today is actions that matter. And so let me start by talking a little bit about my business. So so periodically, I go in and I reevaluate my business, and I say, okay, if on a daily basis, if I screwed everything up, if I just didn't do anything right, except for one thing I got right, what would that one thing be? And how would it impact my business, my goals, my life? And so I want you to take stock of your business as well. What is that one thing that you're like, gosh, you know what? If I just did this one thing, then my business, my life, my achievements would be significantly greater than where they're at right now. So I want you to think about that. Okay. So I'm going to share something with you real quick. A quote by James Clear. So let me go ahead and pull this up. All right. Yeah, that works. Here we go. So I accumulated small but consistent habits that ultimately led to results that were unimaginable when I started. And so think about that for a moment. Unimaginable results. So think about your business, think about your life right now. And I know it's, the phrase is unimaginable, but if you could put anything into your life down the road, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, anything at all, there's no boundaries, what would that look like? What would that be? What would those results be that right now you're like, yeah, I have no idea how I would accomplish that? Those unimaginable results. And I contend that the key to get those results is to create habits, to create routine, to create consistency around your day-to-day actions. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about actions that matter, actions that you can take on a daily basis, starting today or Monday, if you already focused on the Cowboy game or the playoffs this weekend, but actions that you can take right away for free, by the way, implement in your business and create staggering results over time. So, so what one thing allows me to grow, allows me to be more marketable, to build my brand more? What one thing allows me to accomplish my goals faster, at a faster pace? And so that is what I want to uncover every time I do a self-assessment. So today, I'd like to share with you actions that you can implement. So if you'll allow me, I'm going to dive in. And so a phrase I want you to kind of internalize for me here. So consistency creates opportunity. Consistency creates opportunity. And so let me give you just a crazy example, right? So we're all in the real estate industry. You're a real estate agent. I'm in the finance side. Um, you could almost do anything, any activity, and if you did it consistently enough, it would yield results and create opportunities. So I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say that you you wrote up a sign, and it was a marketing sign for your business or something, and you ran up and down the street in your underwear holding this sign, right? You're going up and down the street in your underwear holding this sign. Well, and you did that every single day, every single day. At some point, someone's going to stop and go, man, who's that? Who's that person holding that sign that keeps running up and down the street in their underwear? And it's going to generate conversation. It's going to generate engagement. And then with that engagement, that is your opportunity, right? That is the opportunity that you can seize and push push forward on and follow up on. So obviously a wild example, don't necessarily go run up and down in your underwear holding a sign. Although if that's your preferred marketing technique, then feel free to do that. But consistency creates opportunity. So I want you to internalize that statement. So we're going to talk about daily activities. So again, actions that matter is our topic. So we're going to talk about daily actions that you can take to grow your business and create consistent results. So one thing every day. I'm not sitting here asking you to dedicate 8 hours of your day to anything. What I'm asking for is 30, maybe 60 minutes a day to carve out and say, I'm going to do this activity consistently every day, once a week, for, on an ongoing basis to be able to create results. Okay. So 2 terms that you already know, but we're going to really have a focus on today is we want to be strategic and we want to be intentional. Intentionality is critical in our industry. And honestly, it's a lost art. We have so many in our industry that do not go at their business with intentionality and strategy. So strategy, intentionality, I want you to keep those items in mind as well. All right. So actions that matter every single day. I'm going to run you through kind of my week and my actions that matter. And not all of these are going to apply to you specifically. Obviously I'm in the mortgage industry, and there are pieces of my world that aren't quite identical to pieces of your world on the agent side, but we can talk about that as well. So there'll be points in my talk today that I ask for feedback or may ask to help build the list. So I want you to pay attention and comment when you have an opportunity. So what can you do every single day to be able to create opportunity? And so one of the most common that's completely free is social media interactions. And so there's a number of ways to do that. You've got obviously Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got YouTube, you've got LinkedIn. One of my favorites is you can create a private Facebook group to create your own captive audience, which is a phenomenal way to get your information out there. Now, when you're talking about social media interaction, you want to know what your audience is, right? I just named 4 different social media platforms, and you've got to understand what your audience is, so that way you know which platform is going to be the right fit for you. And the whole goal on social media interaction is to take the online offline. So you want to create engagement. You want to leverage that engagement to take the online offline. Now, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about social media tactics and social media tips today. That's not what this talk is about. I could do a whole nother talk about that. And if you're interested in that, leave a comment below and say, hey, Sean, we'd love to hear more about that as well. But the point of this is simple, easy, free. What we're looking for is free, easy, and scalable, right? because it's hard to grow if you're not putting activities into place that are scalable, right? There's growth and there's scale. Okay, so just I'm a quick aside. I'm going to talk growth and scale real quick. Growth. Okay, so you hire somebody, and so you're doing 25 transactions a year. You hire somebody, and you pay them, I don't know, $40,000 a year, and now that allows you to get to 30 transactions a year. Great, you grew. That's fantastic. What I'm talking about is scalability, where you're doing 25 transactions a year. You say hire somebody, and that allows you to go to 65 transactions a year. So you're multiplying that growth. So that's really scalability. You're getting multiples out of your investment. In this case, I'm referring to an investment in a staff member. And so scalability is what you want. Free, easy, and scalable are the three things that you're looking for in these activities. So taking the online, offline, that's our social media interaction focus. Now, so I'm going to walk through my week, kind of the activities that I do, so that way you can get an idea, and we'll try to relate them. Not all of them are going to be specifically feasible for you, or the audience might not be the exact same. So we'll try and relate them to you as real estate agents as well. So here is what I do. Here's what my week looked like, my actions that matter. So on Mondays, very important day, my Mondays are for coffee appointments. Now, you real estate agents, most of you are working weekends, and so Mondays are your catch-up day. Like, you're working to get through all the paperwork from the weekend. Maybe you're even taking the day off because you don't really get weekends. And so Mondays, when I say, I'm setting up coffee appointments, it's not with real estate agents. I'm not calling you to say, hey, let's get together on Monday. You've got a lot on your plate on Monday. And so my coffee appointments are with industries that maybe aren't as busy on Mondays. Financial planners, CPAs, divorce attorneys, other referral partners, whether it be different industries or maybe specific people. And so you have the ability to do the same thing. You are catching up on Mondays, but hopefully you can carve out, an hour of time each week to be able to meet with one person every single week for 30 minutes to an hour to be able to develop another relationship. How would it change your business if you developed 52 new relationships every single year? Do you think that might have a positive impact on the amount of business you're able to do, the amount of buy and listings that you are able to get in front of on an annual basis? So on Mondays, I do coffee meetings. On Tuesdays, I do market updates. So what my team and I do on Tuesdays is we call everybody that's part of an existing transaction. So as a lender, we're calling the buyer, co-buyer, I say borrower, co-borrower, might be a refinance. If it's a purchase, we're also going to reach out to the buyer's agent, to the listing agent, and to the title company. So for every purchase, we're making 5 calls every single week. I'm sorry, I got a little bit off track. I skipped ahead to Wednesday. Tuesday, market updates. So, and if you're in the Powerhouse Real Estate Group, you've seen this. On Tuesdays, I do a video with a market update. So I'm updating everyone in my database with what's going on in the mortgage and real estate market. I'm talking about inflation. I'm talking about the jobs reports, but I'm letting them know what's going on in our current market and getting that out in front of everybody. So that way they're constantly seeing me and understanding that I am the expert in the marketplace. Now, the good news is if you don't necessarily follow any of this information right now, there's no better time to start than now. And there's a lot of great resources. So Keeping Current Matters is one of those resources. Housing Wire, another great resource. Real estate blogs, following people on real estate blogs, maybe well-known real estate professionals. MBS Highway is another one. And then any other real estate industry resource that you may know of or you come across. And then how we deliver this information is important. So one of the easiest ways to do that is with video. It's always a great way to get in front of people and to build that familiarity by doing video. And there's a couple of great ways to do that. So you've got BombBomb. And if you're not familiar with BombBomb, BombBomb is an incredible video tool that allows you to record videos, and then you can send videos out via email. But what's best about BombBomb is it tracks the activity of the recipients. So you can see if they opened it, you can see if they watched the video, you can see how long they spent on the video. And that's pretty important, because one of the aspects of doing video that you always want to constantly review and critique is the content of my video, the reaching people, is it keeping people engaged, and then is the length of my video keeping people engaged. If you do a 10-minute video and you notice that most everybody that's watching it is only watching it for approximately 2 minutes, then you need to pare down your content, or you need to have more engaging content that keeps people there longer than 2 minutes. So BombBomb is great for tracking that, to give you more insight into the revise and re-execute process. Revise, tweak, and re-execute. So BombBomb is one, and then another is StreamYard. So I'm actually coming to you from StreamYard right now. StreamYard is a live streaming platform that allows you to live stream on multiple online platforms at the same time. So I have the ability to live stream into the Powerhouse Real Estate Facebook group. I can choose to live stream onto my personal Facebook page, my business Facebook page. I can live stream to LinkedIn. I can live stream to YouTube. There's a number of platforms that StreamYard allows you to live stream to. And StreamYard, there is a cost for that, just like there is for BombBomb. These are very low cost options to give you tools to help get in front of people. I think StreamYard is a whopping, I want to say it's like $150 a year or something like that. So really, really cheap. But you want to send it to everybody that you know. So as a real estate agent, if you're not providing information on the market, if you're not providing details about what home buyers and home sellers can expect, if you're not providing that, I guarantee your competition is. And so show everybody in your database that you are the expert by providing this information on a regular basis. So on Tuesdays, I do a market update, and I get that out in front of my database. You can do the exact same thing and be the expert. All right, so now on Wednesdays, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. I do status updates. So as a lender, I reach out to the borrower, co-borrower, listing agent, buyer's agent, and the title company. So purchases, my team and I are making 5 calls. And then on refinances, we're obviously reaching out to the buyer, co-buyer, or borrower, co-borrower, and the title company. So 3 calls. And so we're just reaching out with a quick update. We're really getting a pulse on how they're feeling. I'm a fan of always using that opportunity to ask for feedback. Hey, we've made some more progress. How are you feeling? How are we doing in this process? Anything that we could do better for you? It's really, really important that we're constantly getting feedback, so that way, one, at the end of the process, when we ask for that review, oh, by the way, if you're not asking for reviews, you need to be asking for reviews. And actually, mark it right here, right now. I'm going to do a short coaching call next week. I'm going to make it on asking for reviews, and I'm going to have some tactics, some strategies to make that more successful. Because my team and I focus a lot on reviews, and I think that's a great topic. So next week, next Friday, we're going to do getting reviews, and so tune in next Friday for that as well, and you'll see a post to announce that's coming up. So the other aspect of that status update check-in is to, especially at the beginning of the process, is to set the expectation on how the process is going to go, and to also set the expectation that we'll be asking for business. Hey, John Homebuyer, I just wanted to give you a call today, introduce you to my team, and let you know what to expect as we work towards helping you guys, you and Cindy, into your brand new home. And so my team and I, we go through our points, and at the end, we let clients know, John, our goal is to take amazing care of you, and I want to make sure that you and Cindy have an incredible process every step of the way. If you ever feel like you're not in a position to be able to rave about us to your friends and family, I want you to let me know, because I can't fix what I don't know about. Because at the end of this process, John, I'm going to ask you to introduce us to a friend, family, or coworker that has expressed an interest in buying a home. And I want to make sure that you are excited to do that. Is that a fair request? They're most likely going to say yes. And and my team and I, we do the same thing with real estate agents. I talk to the listing agent throughout the process, but at the very beginning, I set the expectation to them that, hey, our goal is to impress you and to make this the smoothest transaction that you've had this year. At the end of this process, if my team and I have done that, would you allow me to buy you a cup of coffee and sit down and learn more about your business? 9.9 times out of 10, the answer I get back is absolutely. Who wouldn't sit down with me if they were absolutely impressed with my team? And so setting those expectations. So for real estate agents, for you guys, the weekly updates could be maybe less of an update because they're getting it from the lender, hopefully. Or if they're not, you can be that update. If they're not, then they need to be working with my team because we're going to update you guys. So make sure you reach out. But they could be updates, or they could simply be check-ins on how they're doing. The home buying process is a stressful process. It can be anxiety ridden. And so just reaching out once a week to do a check-in on how are you doing? Hey, John, it's Cindy, your real estate agent. I just wanted to check in with you and just, we're halfway through the process now. How you doing? How you feeling? Everything going all right? And just use that as an opportunity to deepen that relationship, to build that rapport. And then, to be honest with you, at the beginning of the process, you can also set that same expectation of asking for business at the end. Hey, John, my goal is to help you and Cindy accomplish your goal of finding the right home for your family. And I want this to be an amazing experience for you. So one of the things that I'm going to ask of you is, at any point during this process, if you're not ecstatic about how things are going with me and you don't feel like you could rave to your friends and family, I need to know so that way I can fix that. Because at the end of this process, I'd like you to introduce me to a friend, family, maybe a coworker that has expressed interest in buying. And I want to make sure that you're excited to do that. Is that a fair request? Again, 9.9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. So setting that expectation that you're going to ask for at the end. So when that end rolls around and you ask for that business, it's not awkward. They're expecting it. You've already told them it's coming. And so it's an easy ask because you've already set that expectation. And that allows you to control the transaction. You set the expectation on what's going to happen. Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you went to the doctor's office and the doctor came in and you turned to the doctor and you said, hey, Mr. Doctor, so let me tell you how this appointment's going to go. And you dictated how that appointment went with the doctor. Raise your hand if you've done that. None of you should have your hands raised. So the doctor obviously comes in. They're the expert, right? They come in and they outline how the appointment's going to go. And so that needs to be you with your clients. And so the Wednesday updates, or the how you feeling check-ins, however you want to label that, are a great opportunity for you to do one at the very beginning to set expectations and start it off on the right note, and then do those on a weekly basis. I do them on Wednesdays. Of course, I'm doing status updates on lending, but as agents, you could do a number of different reasons for the call on a weekly basis. All right. On Thursdays, I go back to coffee appointments. So I keep 2 days open for coffee appointments. And so that way I can double up on the amount of relationships that I build throughout the year. So the list of industries and businesses or people that I sit down with expands a tiny bit because I exclude real estate agents on Mondays, unless a real estate agent just says, you know what, Sean, I would love to meet. It's got to be on a Monday. I could probably make that happen. But on Thursdays is when I kind of bring real estate agents into the fold. They've gone through the bulk of their week. They're usually in a position where they're not quite doing hardcore prep for weekend showings and weekend listings, but Thursdays are a great time for me to meet with real estate agents, and a lot of real estate agents have some flexibility on Thursdays. So I'm back to coffee appointments on Thursdays. If you can't think of how to get in front of some of these people, some of these industries, some of these referral partners, divorce attorneys, financial advisors, go back and watch my previous training that I did on building your referral network. That's in the Powerhouse Real Estate Group. It's a really important one. Talks about how to create those lists so that way you can start calling on those other industries. Okay, so that's Thursday. All right, Fridays. For me and my team, Fridays are pre-approval check-in. We want to make sure that real estate agents and buyers agents specifically, and the buyers are fully prepped going into the weekend. We want to reach out to see if there's any needs for updated pre-approvals, and we want to make sure that we get those knocked out on Friday. You know, my team and I, we put a lot of time in during the week, and although we're happy to accommodate requests occasionally on weekends, if we can plan and be intentional about our week, and the results of that intentionality allow us to have a little bit more time with our families on the weekend, then I love to do that for myself, my team, my family. And so on Fridays, we check in with clients to do a pre-approval check-in. Hey, are you planning to go see any homes this weekend? Do we need to look at updating your pre-approval letter? How are you feeling? Things like that. A lot of times we'll do this via phone, via text, via video, again, via BombBomb. We'll use BombBomb a lot on this. As needed, we'll do an update on the market. We'll update on rates. If rates are very volatile like they are right now, we'll let the client know, hey, here's what's going on in the rate market, just so you know, here's what happened this week, and here's what we're possibly expecting next week. Important conversation to have there. And so we do all of that with a check-in call on Friday to prepare for the weekend and make sure that we're ahead. We're very intentional with that information. Okay. And so for you as real estate agents, I was thinking about this over the last few days on what that might look like, because you're not updating clients on pre-approvals, obviously. So as real estate agents, one of the reasons, or one of the lists of people that you could call would be maybe clients, sellers, buyers that maybe you're not talking to as regularly. You know, you're always going to have those buyers and those sellers that you're talking to every couple of days, possibly even daily, helping them get into a home, helping them sell the home. And so you're talking to them all the time. And that's great. You don't necessarily need to call them with a very specific call on Fridays. But what about those clients that you've talked to, and maybe you don't really talk to them all that often? Maybe you end up talking to them once every couple of weeks. You know, that's an opportunity to create a consistent follow-up campaign, really, to simply check in. And you could theme that call a number of different ways. So Fridays, we do check-ins on pre-approvals, and you could absolutely flip that to cater to the agent side of the industry as well. So follow-up is the key. You know, you want to make sure that with all of these strategies, you're following up. If you're building that new relationship, you sit down over coffee, the follow-up strategy needs to be really, really important. And you need to have that planned out as well on how you're going to follow up. So these are example of what my team and I do, our actions that matter on a daily basis. Some other events some other actions that you as real estate agents could implement on a consistent basis could be events, could be past client calls, of course, open houses, videos about the community. So you could highlight different areas of the community. Maybe it's a neighborhood, maybe it's a local business. The goal is to be present in your community at that point. You know, if you really want to, let's say that you live in Lantana and you really want to be present and branded in Lantana. So maybe you start doing more videos about Lantana, about the community around Lantana, businesses, areas, fun things to do, and not necessarily specifically about your job as a real estate agent. You know, there's subtle ways to let people know that you are a real estate agent. Maybe every time you do a video, you're wearing a shirt that says "I heart real estate," or you wear a hat or that has a saying on it, or maybe you've got a great brand and a logo, and so you're wearing a jacket or a shirt that's got your logo on it. So there's lots of ways to let people know that you're in real estate without coming out and saying, "Hi, I'm a realtor, and call me if you need to buy or sell," because although that can work, it doesn't work nearly as well as being authentic, organically building relationships. That's going to be your long-term big win strategy, in my opinion. So community videos, that's another one. Farming neighborhoods. So whether it's postcards, one of the great ways that you could make that an action that matter would be, you're not going to typically send a postcard out to the same neighborhood for every week, for every single week. So what you could do is you could select 4 neighborhoods or 4 different geographic areas or postal routes using every door direct mail, and you could rotate. You could go week 1 goes here, week 2 goes there, week 3 goes there, and then week 4 goes here. And then you could simply rotate. So every geographic area gets a postcard every single month, but you're making that an action that matters every single week. You're doing that every single week consistently, but you're rotating it so it's monthly to each geographic area. And then of course, you're always welcome to make this our Friday business building webinar one of your actions that matters. I hope that I'm bringing some great content to you that you're able to implement in your business and grow. And so this definitely could be one of your actions that matters, to tune in on Fridays to get your weekly dose of business building. So that's what I'm here for. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed our time together. Was this a good use of your time? I hope that it was. And if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one strategy session to dive a little bit deeper into some of these topics and ideas, don't hesitate. Give me a call. Shoot me a text. Leave comments in the comments section below. Happy to carry on the conversation with you and help you serve more people, build your business, and do more in the community. So thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Friday Business Building. I am Sean Richard with SRT Live. Have an incredible weekend. Take care.